I just learned about a super cool thing that you can do that kind of boggles my mind, honestly. If you want to increase the quality of your leads and specifically their ability to afford what you have to offer, if you find yourself getting a bunch of leads, or maybe you're paying a bunch of leads from advertising, or you're spending a lot of time talking to leads that are unable to pay for what you sell, then you're really spinning your wheels and you're wasting a lot of time. And so for a lot of us, it's just kind of a crapshoot. It's like, yeah, we know we're going to get a bunch of bad leads, but there are a few good ones in there. And so we'll dig through the bad leads until we get to the good ones. And we know that we're going to waste our time talking on calls with a bunch of people that have no ability to afford our offer and are just not that serious anyway. And so that's kind of like the Faustian bargain that most of us, especially if we sell high ticket, we kind of find ourselves in. But I just found out about a pretty amazing service. It kind of blew my mind that basically you just stick it into your opt-in form. So if you have an opt-in form where you get somebody's name, phone number, and email address, it will tell you their last year's income, their available credit, and their credit score. Freaking blows my mind they're able to do that. And they'll tell you it like right away. And so what that allows you to do essentially is to know pretty much immediately who are the qualified leads and who are not the qualified leads. Now, the applications of this are vast. There's like a whole bunch of these. So the kind of the most obvious one is if you take sales calls and you have, let's say that half of the people that you're talking to are broke and cannot afford what you have to offer, and you spend a half an hour or an hour on a sales call. Let's say you spend an hour on a sales call. Well, you don't know until you get on the call whether or not that person is going to be qualified to work with you. And you may not know until the end of the call, for that matter, right? Depending on what your offer is, they may be just on there just trying to get free advice from you and have absolutely no intention of paying because they live in a van down by the river and they can't pay you. So, and there's kind of, if you're a good salesman, there's clever ways to figure that out, but it's tricky, right? So if you can know that right from the very beginning, then you can avoid wasting all that time from the beginning. Now, the service is kind of expensive, in my opinion. I mean, everything's relative, but they charge, it's like, depending on volume, like depending on how much you buy from them, it's $3 to $5 per lead, or like per report that they run. So if you're putting that on the front of your funnel, for example, and like every lead that's coming in, so for example, for my business, I generally get leads for $7 or $8 a piece. And so if I'm having to spend an extra $3 to $5 on top of my $7 or $8, it's like that's a big increase in the cost of my leads. But it might be worth it, because what you can do from the marketing side is then you can feed back the leads that are financially qualified based on this report, feed that back into the ad algorithm and tell the ad algorithm, bring me more people like this, and then ultimately the ad algorithm does a better job, and so you're not paying money to the ad algorithm for bad leads, you're only paying for good leads. Or probably not only, but at least a higher percentage of them are good leads. But the kind of the more obvious application is if you're doing sales calls, that you can just, this person's not qualified, you cancel the sales call. And so for that, even if it's, and like if you're buying low volume, it's $5 a lead, I think. So let's say that you run that for every sales call that you have, and let's say that 50% of the people that book a call are qualified and 50% are not. Well, that means that you're going to, for every 2 leads, one of them is qualified and one is not. So for every 2 leads, you're going to save yourself wasting your time on one of those leads. If that one lead that you avoid wasting your time it gets you an hour of your time back, and it's 2 leads that you're buying the thing for, that's 2 times 5 is 10. you're basically getting your hour back for a cost of $10. So I don't know about you, but I value my time a heck of a lot more than $10. I mean, McDonald's pays more than $10 an hour these days, so you should probably value your time at more than $10 per hour. So yeah, this is going to be an absolute game changer. And it's interesting. I think probably this is like the same technology that the people that the that send you those pre-qualified credit card offers are using, right? They can do a soft credit pull and they can know a little bit about your income. And this is your IRS reported income, by the way. So if you're targeting entrepreneurs who like to take a lot of write-offs, then maybe that's not the most accurate figure that you want to use. But you have access to the amount, the balance of available credit. So that's like available credit minus credit that's already used. So if somebody has a credit card with $20,000 of credit line and they've used 10,000 of it, then it's going to show the available credit is the $10,000 that's remaining. So it basically shows you their purchasing power, which is super cool, and their credit score, which means like if you need to try to qualify them for financing, then it's relevant to that as well. Now, if you're interested in looking into this, I will put a link in the description below that will show where you can check this out. This is brand new. I just found out about it today, like literally today. So I'm kind of blown away by it. And I mean, this is going to be like, I think everybody's going to have to do this. Like everybody that is doing marketing, especially if you're doing high ticket, if you're doing sales calls, like everybody's going to have to do this or get left behind. Hopefully they'll make it cheaper, because I'd love to be able to do this with every lead, but adding $3 to $5 per lead is kind of a lot if you're running a lot of leads. But we'll see how it goes in the future. But for now, at least for doing the sales calls, like this is pretty darn amazing. So give that a try if you like, and I'll see you in the next one.